There's that man again.
Now, I know niche fragrances aren't for everybody, but for those of you that are trying to venture into the niche realm, here are 8 fragrances that I recommend. Stay tuned. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Teddy Files. I'm your resident sommelier, Mr. Diaz Teddy, and today we are talking about 8 niche fragrances that, in my opinion, are must-haves, and I'm going to tell you why. So the first offering that we have today would be from the brand of Atkinsons, and that would be Mint Tonic. So this fragrance right here, I have been very interested in the House of Atkinsons for a while. I'd seen a few of their fragrances and saw some of the notes, and I figured, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a blind buy. I am so happy that I blind bought this fragrance. It's very airy, very fresh, minty. It has a little bit of herbal notes to it, but it is just one of those uplifting, very fresh, very clean fragrances that fit a lot of different situations. Like you can wear it with a white t-shirt, you can wear it with a polo, you can wear it with a button-up. It's going to fit all of those situations. As far as the note breakdown, you have lime, you have ginger, and you have vetiver. Lime, ginger, and vetiver. That sounds like a very great combination for the summer and spring. All of those are notes that fit in that type of weather. And this fragrance right here, in all honesty, it would be very hard to go wrong with it. You'll be very hard pressed to find people that smell this on you and don't like it. So if you want to start getting into some of your niche fragrances, and it's not very expensive either. And the longevity on this one is about, I would say, 5 or 6 hours, and that's not too bad, especially for a fresh fragrance. So if you want to start getting into niche brands, in my opinion, this right here, because of the note breakdown, because of the smell, because of the mass appeal that this possibly could have for a lot of people, this, in my opinion, is definitely a must-have, and that is Mint Tonic by Atkinson. So the next fragrance that I got coming up is one that I have featured in one of my 8 fragrances that'll get you in trouble video a while back. I'll put it up here so you guys can check that out. But it's still getting people in trouble because I had a friend of mine just reach out to me and said it got him in some good trouble. So depending on the situation you find yourself in, you can get yourself in bad trouble or good trouble with this fragrance right here, and that would be HOS number 4, House of Sillage. So this fragrance here, and you already know that I'm, big kid, love how the atomizer comes out, but citrusy, fresh, warm and spicy, just mossy. This fragrance right here, to me, it smells like success. It smells like you care about your appearance. It smells like you care about the surroundings that you put yourself in. It is in my opinion, a very situational fragrance where it's one of those where you could find yourself at a dinner party, or it could actually be used in a date night situation. But for me, in all honesty, this fragrance, it just, like I said, it just smells like you just give a damn about what you put on your skin. It just smells like you actually put some time and effort into what you wanted to wear and how you wanted to present yourself. This fragrance, and a lot of the fragrances from the brand of HOS, says all that. It is an 8-hour fragrance as well, which to me is very good. As far as your notes go, you have your lavender, you got pepper, and you have oak moss, which are some of the main notes that pop out at you. There are, of course, other notes in there, which is like tangerine and star anise and everything else. But the most that you get is some of that beautiful, fresh, soapy lavender at the top. You get the spiciness from some of that pepper, and then you get that green, mossy, just green feel from a lot of the oak moss. This right here has been getting people in trouble since I've been talking about it, probably way before I started talking about it. and it's still doing the same thing. And as a matter of fact, this might just be my scent of the day. Even though it's cold outside, I still wear what I want to wear. And today, I think I'm going to wear this HOS number 4. So the next fragrance that I got coming up is one that hit the hype train. And a lot of times when something hits the hype train, I could care less. If I don't like the note breakdown, if I don't think it fits me, I'm not going to buy it. But I did think it fit me, but I just didn't buy it right away. And I can honestly say I dropped the ball on this one, but I am glad that I now have it in my collection, and I highly recommend Mancera's Cedrat Boise. Like I said, I didn't pay attention to, I mean, I heard what other people were saying, and I'm pretty sure that they were, they meant what they were saying. They knew what they were talking about, how well the fragrance smells and how much they loved it. But it had to fit something that I wanted as well. And in all honesty, this fragrance is right up my alley. I mean, you got that beautiful citrus at the top of this fragrance, but what gets you the most is that supple leather feel to this fragrance. That beautiful supple leather. Some of your main notes in it, you have Sicilian lemon, you have patchouli, but what gets you the most is, once again, that beautiful leather note. It's suede like it's in its texture, and it has an elegance to it, but it also it has a slight bit of rugged. It's just a masculine fragrance. I'm trying to explain it the best way that I can. This is an amazing fragrance, especially for spring. Now, you could wear it in the summer, but because of the leather note, I would not recommend you overspray this, because that could come off a bit, it could come off a little scary. So you don't want to overdo this. But in the right time, right situation, and it's a nuclear performer for me. It has been for the last couple of times I've worn it, and it lasts about 8 hours on me. So for about $80, $80 to $90 for something like this, which is a niche fragrance, and if you know anything about niche fragrances, yeah, usually they start $150. So it's an inexpensive niche brand that is high quality. Mancera's Cedrat Boise. So the next fragrance that I got coming up, when I first saw it and saw the note breakdown, I was kind of hesitant. But once again, when you're in the fragrance community, a lot of the stuff, for most people, we always say, please sample before you buy, because it might not be your cup of tea. But a lot of us in the fragrance community, we blind buy stuff so that you guys won't have to, so we can talk to you about it and recommend it. I'm so glad that I bought this. Now, I would not suggest that you blind buy it. Number one, because these fragrances, they can be a little bit pricey. But for me, it was worth the price of admission, and that would be Novitus Parfums Divine Aphrodisiac. Oh my God. Shout out to Bowtie Fragrance Guy. He and Novitus collaborated on this fragrance. And man, you want to talk about knocking it out of the park. They hit it out of the park with this one. To me, the note breakdown, like I said, it sounded a little bit off the wall, but when you smell it, it all comes together so eloquently. You have that sesame, and you have the peanut butter accord with coffee, praline. I mean, this fragrance right here, it is a gourmand lover's dream. To me, is quintessential in as far as my fragrance collection goes for the gourmand fragrances that I love so much. This fits right in. This might be the king of the mountain for me in my collection. I don't know about yours, but definitely in mine. So would I highly recommend this fragrance? Absolutely. Absolutely. And the reason being is the high compliment factor that I've gotten off of it, and just the enjoyability of wearing it. This is what the height of sophistication means. When I say the height of sophistication, these are the type of fragrances I'm talking about, and that will be Novitus Parfums Divine Aphrodisiac. So amber and tobacco are some of my favorite notes in perfumery, and this fragrance right here perfectly captures exactly what I think of when I think of one of those types of fragrances, and that will be Josier Amber Tabac. Look, if you are a fan of those tobacco amber fragrances that they have out on the market, you would do yourself a disservice if you didn't at least try to get your nose on this fragrance right here. People, when I tell you amber tobacco done eloquently, done right, done exquisite, I'm talking about just the epitome of what you're looking for when you want that beautiful smoky tobacco smell with that beautiful sweetness of that amber. This right here, this fragrance right here, it was a bucket lister for me, and I'm so glad that I wrote this off my bucket list. It is almost a speechless fragrance for me. I love this fragrance. I mean, as far as when you think about the notes, let's just think about some of the notes that we have coming here. We got that beautiful smoky incense with that creamy sandalwood, that smokiness, that beautiful sweetness of the tobacco and amber. People, if I don't recommend nothing else to you, if you are into the smells of tobacco and amber and you think that's something right up your alley, if you get one fragrance in your collection, one niche fragrance in your collection that has those elements, I'd say go for this one. And that would be Daniel Josier, Amber Tabac. So the next fragrance that I got coming up is another bucket list that I could not wait to get into my collection, and I'm so glad that I have it now, and that would be Creed, Erolfa. So for me, this fragrance here, citrusy, woody, fresh, marine. I mean, this fragrance here, once again, like many of the fragrances in this video, says elegance, says refinement. It's classic. It has a classic scent to it. But once again, even with the scent having a beautiful classic nature to it, I don't smell many other fragrances that smell like this at all. As a matter of fact, I haven't smelled anything else that smells like this. And it's about a 6-hour fragrance. But for me, the wearing experience of this fragrance is second to none. Second to none. I mean, for it to be a fresh fragrance, it does such a wonderful job, and it has such nuance to it. It's not an everyday wear fragrance. It is definitely, for me, a situational fragrance. But the situations that you find yourself in with this, a party, some sort of elegant, more upscale party, something like a dinner party or something like that, or even if you are going to some sort of presentation, any type of those situations where you putting on a suit and tie or even a bow tie or something like that, and especially in the summertime, this fragrance fits it. Some of your top notes, you got that beautiful lime note. You have some pine that brings in a lot of that green, but it's that ambergris note that brings in that marine, very oceanic type of smell and feel to this. This fragrance is amazing. It's an amazing fragrance, and I'm so glad, once again, that I have it in my collection. It was one that was on my list, and once again, for me, it's definitely a must-try. Even if it's not a must-have for you, it's a must-try. You got to try to experience this one, and that would be Erolfa by Creed. So the next fragrance that I got coming up is another one I was able to procure off of my bucket list. And I am so happy that I got this fragrance, and that would be Parfums de Marly, Greenley. Spring and summer in a bottle? Check. High compliment factor? Check. Manly and sexy? Check. If these are the things that you're looking for when you buy and spend that money on a niche fragrance, this is the fragrance you're talking about. This is the one right here, because that beautiful apple note just really makes this fragrance pop off your skin, and it has such a high quality push a high quality push that just basically takes over the airspace when I wear it. I don't know about other people, but when I wear it, it takes over the space where I'm at. I don't overspray it. I mean, you can for some people who like to do those 15, 20, 30, whatever. You can go ahead and do that. 5 sprays for me is enough. It's not the longest lasting. Once again, it's one of those 6-hour fragrances, but this experience in this fragrance that you get for 6 hours, that woodsiness, the slight sweetness. I mean, you cannot go wrong if you're looking for a complement factor in a fragrance. Some of your fragrance notes here, you have your green apple, you have the cedar and the petit grain, but to have that oak moss that brings out that green and earthy nature to this fragrance. I'm telling you right now, if you can get a sample of Greenley, you're gonna buy it. I'm telling you now, if you sample this, you're gonna buy it. You're gonna pay for it. That's what I did. I sampled it and had to have it in my collection. Now, you may be stronger than me when it comes to that. You may smell it and sample it. Hey, I like it, but I'm not spending that kind of money. Me, I could not wait to get this in my collection. That is Parfums de Marly Greenley. So the next fragrance that I got coming up, and the last one, is from another inexpensive niche house for some of their fragrances. And is it my favorite fragrance? Yeah, I mean, it's debatable, but it's definitely one of my favorite fragrances. And that would be Merchant of Venice, Damascus Desert. Look, when you're talking about uniqueness in a fragrance, when you're talking about something that you don't smell on anybody else, because a lot of the times, many of us are looking for fragrances that other people are not wearing, other people really don't know much about. This would be one of those fragrances right here. I mean, this fragrance is a scent experience, and I am here to bear witness. I'm telling you, this fragrance, the moment that I smelled it, the beautiful citrus and the in the air element, the elemental nature of this fragrance, it is absolutely fantastic. Honestly, like I said, it is in the argument of one of my number one niche fragrances that I have in my collection, as far as ones that I love the most. I constantly pull this off the shelf and smell it. Some of your fragrance notes that you have in this one, I'm going to try to stop smelling everybody, but it's hard not to when I got it out. Some of your top fragrance notes, you got lemon, you have orris, and you have amber. Of course, there are other notes in here, but those are some of the main notes that give it that beautiful sensual lemon smell with the beautiful nature of that creamy orris butter and that sweet amber. I'm telling you right now, it has almost the same kind of feel, without smelling like it at all, of Baccarat Rouge 540. It has that candied feel, that airy candied feel, but it's a completely different scent profile. This, once again, it's a wearing experience, and I'm telling you, if you get your hands on this, you're going to recommend it to a whole lot of people, or you might just gatekeep it and never tell anybody about it. You might want to make sure they don't watch this video, though, and that would be Merchant of Venice, Damascus Desert. Well, everyone, that's my time. Once again, I want to thank you guys for coming over here and joining me on the Teddy Files. I know there are so many other videos and people that you can go watch, and I'm so glad that I'm one of the ones that you do watch. And remember this, niche fragrances are very expensive. They're expensive for a reason, because of the high quality oils and the fact that that's what they do. That's their thing. They do fragrances, they specialize in it, and they do it well. So understand that everybody don't want to do niche fragrances, but for those that do, these are some of the ones that I highly recommend. And please make sure that you like, share, subscribe to the content, because it helps the channel to grow. And make sure you hit that bell icon to get notified every time I upload a video, because my name is Mr. Diaz Teddy, your fragrance sommelier. And over here we don't do stink, so please don't be a stink ass. Have a good one.